I want to thank the society for inviting me. I'm very honored to meet my old friends. I have learned a lot from you. I'm talking about the logging sound. When I think about logging sound, this kind of sound is a kind of voice in the forest. In the concept of forest culture, a lot of artistic expression, sound or voice is one of the reflection. It is the logging sound is more than that. A lot of sound in the forest is a relationship between human and the forestry. The relationship between human and the society is mono, but it's not. It's more than a sound. But for when people carrying the heavy wood, people shout and sing. They are the following roles, functions. It will have everybody work together. One of them will have the sound, the other people echoes or response to have a unified marching. So Lu Xun said the labor produce art. So the human body will be very coordinated.
Through this kind of sound, you can realize the harmony of the whole body. And three functions of this shanty, like a logging sound. It's a kind of forest art because it's a kind of sound initiated from those loggers and carriers. As soon as we realize why they have different types of such logging and carrying sounds, then we can analyze the hidden meanings, because superficially this is just a piece of sound, but actually it reflects whole life experiences. For example, an old man is dying on the bed, and at the last minute he asked his wife to open the door because he said, I want to shout out a sound. So you can see the sound's function is not just to regulate your body actions, to make your body more harmony, but also a kind of reflection of your past experiences. So you can't just judge the voice from the surface, because you can see all those carriers on their shoulder. They have a kind of muscle being formed after a long time carrying the timber. There is a nickname for this kind of muscle. It's called the blood mushroom, to show their hard-working situation. So if you want to be the master or head of the carrier team, you need to have the blood mushroom first. You need to work hard first. So this shanty song shows the harmony between man and nature. In this relationship, people tend to neglect the hidden elements behind the articrafts. We can't just on the surface to see this is a piece of handicraft or articraft. we have to understand the behind the sounds, different types of sounds. So sometimes the sounds can also serve as a kind of reminding words. It's saying the tree is falling down to that direction or to south direction, and so on and so forth. There are several reasons for such kind of neglection. One of the most important reasons is sometimes when we talk about the heritage, we only know the superficial heritage. We didn't embed the whole life experience into this piece of work. Like the old man dying on his bed, while at the last minute he wanted to sing out this song. As I mentioned, those who can be chosen as the master of the carriers, the leader, only those capable ones can be the master. If those newcomers do not follow the master's order, the master would deliberately give the newcomer a kind of a difficult job. On the contrary, if you are having good relationship with him, he would put the stick on your shoulder at an appropriate position to make you feel more comfortable. Some timbers are very heavy, so it's a kind of a strategic position need to be found. Like sometimes the timbers are very heavy, 8 carriers cannot carry. But if you can find an appropriate shoulder position, even 4 people can carry. So it shows a kind of harmony between man and nature. You should observe and follow the nature very closely. In the past, nowadays I'm engaged in the rescuing and recovery of Cao Mountain's cultural assets. In this process, I got to know those wood carriers about their experiences, their daily lives, their relationship with trees, like those loggers, carpenters, when they developed the tools, because in the traditional age, they don't use saws to cut trees. They use axe. Saws are being introduced from Japan. But in Qing and Ming dynasties, people in China use axe to cut trees. So all these people engaged in the forest logging activities, we have to carry out cultural study based on human-centered attitude instead of articraft-centered attitude. We need to make an endeavor to understand better relationship between human and forest. Otherwise, it would be very superficial analysis. There's a famous TV play in China. There was one episode very funny. I think they don't know experiences of loggers and foresters at all. For example, there was an episode of digging out the ginseng. And by digging the ginseng, they need some coordinated work. Because in the forest, if you speak, because forest is very big, it's a waste of your voices. So what you are doing is to use the stick to make the sound. When you are making the sound, you have to follow in the clockwise way instead of counterclockwise way. But in this TV episode, the director doesn't know this common sense knowledge. They use this counterclock stick beating, and so there's actually shouldn't have any sound made. So what I want to express is we have in this rescuing of the forest culture process, we need to expand our thinking and expand the scope to include humans' experiences. Because when we talk about rescuing the nature, rescuing the cultural heritage, ultimately we are rescuing humans. In this regard, we have to rescue those people engaged in forest culture because they are getting old and people are passing away every day. Sometimes such kind of human-based culture cannot be inherited. So what I'm calling upon is to focus on the human emotional experiences to be rescued, not just forest assets. By doing so, we can deepen our work. Thank you.